So I am here with Mark Singer from Nival. We are going to talk about Prime World. This is a brand new MOBA game. Started out in Russia, but now it's coming to America. So Mark, tell us a really quick introduction of the game.
Okay, so what Prime World is about is it's a competitive RPG with a lot of layered progression. You start off and you're in the land of Praya, where you either play as the Keepers of Adornia or the Doth Imperium. One is a very scientific sort of mechanical faction, the other one is a lover of nature and magic sort of thing. And what you can do is you're sort of a lord and you reign over your castle and you start to build up an army of heroes that will go and fight in battles for you. And that's sort of the basics of what it's about.
And so it's a cross between, I said MOBA earlier, but it's a cross between a MOBA and there's also like a city building type strategy. Can you kind of explain how those two come together for the game?
Yeah, so the city building is sort of like the central hub of all of your Prime World activities. You will hire new heroes, you'll develop talents to place on those heroes, you can assemble a clan and queue for matches and chat and all kinds of things. The castle is a good representation of all of your progress. You'll build up your castle, start gaining more resources faster, leveling up buildings and characters. And then we have the sessions where it's either PvP or PvE or a mix of both. We have a lot of different game modes. And everything you've done outside of the sessions will matter inside the sessions. And our sessions are very MOBA style, where you'll start at level 0 and you'll level up and you'll be able to select your abilities and talents and duke it out against other enemies or against other monsters.
Yeah, that's the style. I got into the closed beta and I played the MOBA style. Very similar to like a League of Legends or a Dota 2, except you do have that city building element. Now, you mentioned how it kind of plays together, but what is the whole point of having the city building part?
So the city building is our long-term progression. We want players to feel like, even if they're not in a battle, that they're making a difference that matters towards their characters. So, they'll be developing those buildings and characters and talents all in the city. And, as they level all that up, they'll see a very noticeable change in their characters when they're in the sessions. And the whole goal of the castle is to really just give players things to do and ways to progress without necessarily going into a fight with other people. It's a lot of player choice is what the goal is.
Yeah, because I've always found, I play a lot of Dota 2, and there's, once the match is over, that's kind of it. You get some experience points that really I'm not sure what it does. You get more like item drops, but those are just cosmetic. So actually having that will make people, they're going to want to play the game, they're going to build up their castle, so that's kind of a neat element that you add there.
Yeah, we're really excited about the castle system, and one of the things that we're releasing at E3 is that we're going to bring the castle system to mobile devices soon, because the castle system is based in Unity, and it's very easy for us to port it. And we want players to be able to take the castle on the go and continue to develop their heroes and build resources and talents even when they're away from their computer.
So on my cell phone right now, I can bring up the app, kind of look through my resources, make sure I have enough food, wood, or all that, which will help in turn in the game. So I can be continuously always playing the game, right?
Yeah, like I said, again, player choice. They don't necessarily have to be at their computer to continue to be in the world.
That's pretty unique. I haven't heard that in many games. That's kind of a new step that you're taking. That's pretty awesome.
We are not just trying to do something different with the type of game it is and the way that players are able to do things, but we do want to take it into different forms of technology as well.
And so you mentioned there's a couple different game modes. The MOBA style, there's PvE, PvP. What are the differences? You said 8 different modes. How does one distinguish when you're in the game, which mode do I want to play?
So we always have our 5v5 standard sort of MOBA meta map available for players, and our other maps rotate on a schedule. And so players will know when different game modes will be available. And we have a 3v3 PvP map, we have a 4v4 PvE/PvP where players will be battling it out through a forest from 2 different ends to the center where there's a dragon. And they'll be playing PvE, PvP, all of a sudden they'll get to the center and they'll clash and they'll be fighting over the egg, which will help them destroy the other person's base. So there's that kind of dynamic. We have the regular 5v5, we have a 5-player co-op PvE mission, which we just released, is not out yet, but we have it for demo here, and it'll be in the subsequent beta weekends coming forward. So we have a lot of diversity in gameplay modes, not just necessarily the gameplay modes, but the length that these modes take to complete. So players are not always stuck in a 50, 60-minute match if they don't want to be.
Okay, yeah, I always have that issue. I'm like, I want to play, but I know I have to sit down for at least an hour's worth of time in order to play a game, a MOBA game. So it's kind of nice that different aspects, different game modes. Oh, I can play for 10 minutes, I can play for 15, I can play for a full hour.
Our shortest match even is, I think on record, is about 2 minutes for a 3v3 match where one team just absolutely steamrolled the other. But it just shows the different dynamics and strategy in that different game modes have a lot of different varying lengths.
That's not common, right? A 2-minute match?
No, it's not. It's not. But, you know, we've seen some pretty crazy stuff in tournaments.
Nice. So is there anything else you want to, you said with E3 you're mentioning the mobile app. Is there anything else you're kind of bringing to fans or what's next in the beta?
So we're in closed beta right now. And in the coming weeks, we'll be going into open beta. And with that, we'll also be releasing on Steam. And you can join the beta at playpw.com. And that's kind of all the release news we have for now. And we have our PvE mission, which will be making its appearance in those beta weekends as well.
Yeah, Steam is kind of a pretty big deal because you know you're going to get that whole influx of players as soon as they see that banner. They're like, oh, let me check that out. Like, what is the game about?
And we are free to play. So there's no bar to entry. You can just jump right in and give it a shot.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's Prime World. Here with Mark. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we look forward to playing the game.